Hey everyone, Sula here from MistyHilltops.com. Thanks for stopping by. I have the next couple of pages ready for the 4x6 Christmas album that I've been working on, which is not a December daily, it's just an album about Christmas. And so I kept it simple. I just have two background, just cardstock mats that are slightly larger than 4x6, so it can hold 4x6 papers. And then in between, I put what is the binding, just a strip that has a little gusset so that there can be a little bit of bulk, but not too much. And the pages still lie pretty flat against each other. So there's just a tiny bit, maybe less than a quarter or a 1/8 of an inch or something. So, which is like a millimeter or two. So I put the two pages together, and then they need to be together because I want the binding to be covered up. Once I have it covered up with the papers and the photos, you don't even see that piece of binding anymore, that it is an extra piece. I decided this way I can fit more on the cardstock that I cut this out from the silhouette, with a silhouette. The smaller the pieces, obviously, the more you can arrange them on a page and something like that. So I decided, rather than including the binding already or having a double page there, I wanted to just have each background by itself and then connected through that binding piece there. So then I have a couple of little papers and photos, squares that will go onto the left page. And this is from Echo Park. I think it's the Gingerbread Christmas or something is this kit. It's the digital version. I got the digital version because what I love about that is that I can print everything in the size that I need it to be. When you get the full paper and the other products, especially the embellishments, they come in whatever size there is. And then for this pocket, because it's a baking, so I decided to create a little pocket with some writing that says Baking Spirits Bright, and thought that was fun. And so that pocket goes on to this side. As usual with this booklet, there will be one page that holds a pocket with journaling cards, and one page that holds the photos with different arrangements of papers. So that's the concept that I'm using for this book. It's very simple that way. It doesn't take much preparation time, doesn't take extra work. It goes fast, and I can also, it's easy with the printing. And some of the embellishments, though, I do print on, well, most of the embellishments, unless they are like easy, just straight cuts, most of the embellishments I print on heavy cardstock and then have my silhouette cut out. So the pieces that you see there are mostly cut from my silhouette. There's one piece that is a cookie piece, not these two, that comes from one of my die cut sets. And then I have the journaling cards. So when I print on the same sheet of paper, cardstock, real cardstock. So these are like chipboard. They have almost the feel like chipboard to it because it's such thick cardstock. So when I print and cut them, I put the journal cards together, and then I fill out whatever space there is on the page to just add some embellishments for my various pages there. And so there is a video that I created on how I get perfect print and cuts with my silhouette. You can find it in my how-to video playlist. So I'm not using the print and cut feature that comes with the silhouette there with the registration marks. That means I use a lot more print ink, and then there's just much less of the paper that I can use, and then it's still not guaranteed that it does cut where I want it to cut. So I use my own way. And so you can check out that video. I'm If I remember, I will try to put a link in the description box below. So here again, I'm doing the same thing as with the previous page. I'm adding the little gusset binding piece between the pages. And once you add the embellishments and all that, it really doesn't draw attention that there is this glue strip that goes between those two pages there. Like you would feel like, oh no, this will draw the eye or something. It does not at all. I have been working on a larger mini album for my document Christmas this year, and so what's the December daily, and I realized even there when I have glue flaps, you don't see them anymore once the book is together. You just don't pay attention to this because the papers and everything else is so pretty. So for this one, again, I created another pocket that says Christmas Market, just using some of my fonts. Added a holly leaf from one of the pieces in the library, and turned it into a pocket there, and that will go on the left side now. I try to alternate so that sometimes it's on the left, sometimes it's on the right, and so that just to give the book a little interest, because the principal way this book works is basically always the same. There's a photo page and then a pocket page, and so just differently decorated, obviously, but because of that, I do try to keep things a little more interesting by alternating the sides on which I put the pocket and the sides on which I put the photo. So here comes another strip of paper that goes just all the way down, and then I have the photos, which are 2x3-inch photos that go as a strip down that page there. And one of the tricky things that I was aware as I was planning this album, when I started thinking about what kind of album I wanted for this, I knew, because basically I prefer to work on a flat surface and then put pages together, but with this album, because I have the glue strips of that binding, I knew that I would have to attach the pages first, and so that as the left side will get more and more bulky, like higher and higher up, it'll become more difficult, and I may have to invent some way so that the other part of the page, the right side of the page, would still be able to lie flat. Here I cannot just push it down onto the desk anymore, because there's already like a half an inch or more of a book on the left side of this. So as it gets thicker, this will become more of a challenge. I was aware before I started, but so far it's still working really, really well, and I'm expecting it not to become too much of an issue. But what I love with this way, and the way that I plan to add the final binding to cover up this kind of binding, so basically the back spine, when I add the back spine, it will still be possible that the pages will lie open flatly, just like this, like the way you see them. They will lie open flat, and that's the beauty of this kind of book. Each page will be able to lie really flat, whereas with a lot of the mini albums, you can only open them so much, and then something will work against that. So that's what I like about this kind of album. It really is possible to open each page flat, so that you can really have just see the entire page. And then this is the last page for this video, and this is all about St. Nicholas Day, which is where I come from, we do the stockings. We don't do stockings very much for Christmas itself, or there might be some stockings too. But the main stocking event is December 6th, which in some countries in Europe is actually the actual Christmas. day. And so Europe, we do have a little more as far as celebrating Christmas than other parts of the world. We really do like celebrating Christmas, I guess. And so for the traditions that I know is that we have stockings for St. Nicholas, and so this is explaining this. And then I had this embellishment piece. It was just a kind of label, and I just decided to put it on a 3x3 square, just pattern paper, and then add this to it. So that's what I did here. I may have used a Lori Whitlock label for the background. Well, there's the pattern paper, then probably a Lori Whitlock label, and then this label with the stockings that are hanging there. So then it's time for the right side, which is just as usual, the large piece of pattern paper. And one of the things that I like with having pockets is that the paper, even though it might be covered up while the journaling cards and stuff are in the pocket, but once you take them out, you can see a lot more of the beautifully patterned paper. Now, this is not the Gingerbread Christmas from Echo Park anymore. This is a Carta Christmas kit, and or a Christmas collection, I should say, and I am sure this is probably from Farmhouse Christmas. The entire book will have pages from Gingerbread Christmas, Farmhouse Christmas, and Home for Christmas. So there will be pieces, but I try to keep the kits together. So I try not to mix them up with each other. So one page will have stuff only from the one collection, except maybe a journal card, because I decided I will just, because they have these cut apart sheets that also come with what I can use for the digital collections, and so I'm just using the cut aparts to create more journaling cards, because I have all these pockets, and the pockets are large enough that it can fit several cards. So this is it. This is my book for this part, and I will leave you with some more close-ups. Keep coming back, because I will post more of these of this little book, and then well, it's gonna get a little thick, but it's smaller because it's only 4x6, and obviously I also have the document Christmas albums that I have put up on my channel, so you can check those out. There's playlists that are about my Christmas album, so you can check out things there if you're interested. Anyways, I'm very happy you stopped by. Thanks for watching. Consider giving this a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.